So US President Donald Trump has announced 27% reciprocal tariffs on India. Calling Prime Minister Narendra Modi a great friend, Donald Trump said India's tariffs are tough and they have not been treating the United States right. But there is a big silver lining for India. There are several exports that are exempt from these tariffs, and this includes pharmaceutical products, semiconductor chips, copper, lumber, and other critical material. India is analyzing and weighing possible opportunities as a result of these tariffs. Yes, there are challenges, but there are also opportunities. Aapada mein avsar.
Yeah, very, very tough. Very, very tough. The Prime Minister just left. And he's a great friend of mine, but I said, you're a friend of mine, but you're not treating us right. They charge us 52%. You have to understand, we charge them almost nothing. For years and years, the United States charges other countries only a 2.4 tariff on motorcycles. Meanwhile, Thailand and others are charging much higher prices, like 60%. India charges 70%. Vietnam charges 75%, and others are even higher than that. Likewise, until today, the United States has for decades charged a 2.5 tariff. Think of that, 2.5% on foreign-made automobiles. The European Union charges us more than 10% tariffs, and they have 20% VATs, much, much higher. India charges 70%, and perhaps worst of all are the non-monetary restrictions imposed by South Korea, Japan, and very many other nations. As a result of these colossal trade barriers, 81% of the cars in South Korea are made in South Korea. 94% of the cars in Japan are made in Japan. Toyota sells 1 million foreign-made automobiles into the United States, and General Motors sells almost none. Ford sells very little. None of our companies are allowed to go into other countries.
देखिए यूएस का काम है, उनका अमेरिका फर्स्ट है, ट्रम्प साहब का, तो मोदी जी के लिए इंडिया फर्स्ट है। अब उसकी हम लोग समीक्षा करेंगे, फिर क्या उसका असर पड़ेगा, कैसे उससे निपटना देखा जाएगा। और सर आगे की रणनीति गवर्नमेंट की क्या होगी? अब जरा टैरिफ देखा जाए, उसको फिर विचार किया जाए, फिर देखा जाएगा क्या करना होगा।
Hours after the US president announced his reciprocal tariffs, markets in India reacted with alarm, only to recover later in trade. The revelation that sectors like pharmaceutical, copper, energy and bullion and precious metals have been exempted from the tariffs energized investors. All these sectors are big contributors to the export kitty. The first phase of new tariffs on India will kick from 5th April. The rest, 17%, will go into effect from 10th April. They will exclude vehicle and auto spare parts as well as steel and aluminium, which already attract 25% tariffs. Exporters feel the tariff put India in a better position than its big competitors, China, Bangladesh, Vietnam and others.
26% is quite consumable by the exporters, because it is, this I am telling because the tariff imposed on the other countries, our competitive countries, China, Cambodia, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, I mean, which are our competitive countries, this is much less. Whatever the advantage China had on the cheap raw material, that advantage is gone. I think this is good. India should be thankful to tariff, not to impose more.
The US has been the largest export market for India in the past few years. What also made India a prime target for the tit-for-tat tariffs is the huge trade surplus India enjoys with the US. Opposition rained fire on the Modi government over the 27% US tariffs.
Our ally suddenly decides to impose tariffs on us, 26%, which is going to completely devastate our economy. Our auto industry, our pharmaceutical industry, they're all on the line. The BJP and the RSS have a different philosophy. When asked, do you lean left or do you lean right? They say, no, we bow our head right in front of every foreigner that comes in front of us. Sir, this is something that is in their culture, it is in their history, we know that.
अमेरिका ने 26% का रेसिप्रोकल टैक्स लगाया है भारत के ऊपर।
उसी से उसको ध्यान हटाने के लिए ड्रामा है और किस लिए है? अमेरिका के सामने तो घुटना टेक सरकार है ये ना, तो उससे तो लड़ नहीं पाते, तो चलो यहाँ मुसलमानों से लड़ो।
Politics aside, economists too have been apprehensive about the impact of the US reciprocal tariffs on the Indian economy. Prior to the imposition of tariffs, economists had projected a 10 to 30 basis point hit to India's GDP growth from the US tariffs, in part due to export restrictions and in part because of the economic uncertainty. Bureau Report, India Today.